Hello, welcome to the It's All Good show. My name is Benise Belil, and I'm a serenity expert and positive intelligence specialist. So, the show is It's All Good. Look who's here for a chat because I have amazing people joining me every week to have a little chat with me and give you great insight on their own business and sometimes also on your own life. It depends on the people and what comes out of these amazing conversations. So, today I have the honor to have Dagmar Fleming as my guest. And we're going to be talking about the topic today is how to live a life of purpose, passion, and prosperity. So I'll introduce Dagmar in a second, but I want to talk to you about why do I do this show and why it's called It's All Good. I would like to invite you, for those that are watching, just to like this video, to send a comment, say hi. Well, thank you so much for those that says hello, Mohammed, and I'm glad that you're here and watch this show with us. And the reason why I call this show "It's All Good" there's a few reasons, but the main one is because it's my favorite cup. It's all good, and I love this cup. But when I was deciding on what I was going to call this show, I was drinking my water in the morning. I usually drink warm water, and I was like, how should I call this show? And I said, oh, it's all good. And I've decided that that's something that I say all the time, whether things happen in the past that you can't control, that have passed, because it's even if it's 5 seconds ago, you can control that, so it's all good. And things in the future, things that's going to happen tomorrow, the next day, the next month, your goals, everything you're planning, even if these things are on their way and you can't really predict the future, you can work towards realizing your goal, but there's no point getting anxiety and stressed out over it, so it's all good. So that's my philosophy of life, and that's one thing that I really enjoy in my day-to-day basis life, is to just enjoy every second. So again, if you're watching this show, please like and comment. And if you're watching it on replay, you can do hashtag replay and share your comment also, because we read the comment as they're being posted afterwards, and we can answer your question if there's any question. So Dagmar, she's a success catalyst and mindset expert. Wow, that's really amazing. And being a serenity expert, mindset and serenity works hand in hand. So we have a lot in common in that area. So the topic, as I mentioned earlier, is how to live a life of purpose, passion, and prosperity. If you have been nagging, feeling that your life has a bigger purpose, but you don't know what that is, and your yearning leads you to exploration of who you are, well, this talk is for you. We'll find out like how to really help you find out the person you are. So, Dagmar is a success coach, personal transformation mentor, and intuitive healer. She helps entrepreneurs catapult a business breakthrough and actualize and capitalize on their true purpose for real success inside and out. She's the founder of Unlock Your Success mentorship program for entrepreneurs who wants to accelerate their growth, increase their income, and fulfill their life purpose. She's also the founder of the Athena Circle, a community organization for women who wants to live a life of passion, purpose, and prosperity. So without any further delay, let's welcome Dagmar. Dagmar, welcome to the It's All Good It's Here for a Chat show.
Hi, Denise. It is so good to be here.
I'm so glad that you were able to join me in your busy schedule, because you have your hand full right now with everything that you're organizing in your life, and we'll talk about that as we move forward. But if you want to add a little bit about what I've said, is there anything else you would like to add on who you are and how did you get to start these businesses? And I think you might even have more. So just elaborate a little bit on what we've talked.
Well, thank you. Thank you for inviting me and sharing my
Pleasure.
story with your audience. As you probably all notice, just like Denise, I've got an accent. And even though I live in Texas and consider myself a Texan, not many people recognize me as such. This Polish accent is uh, trailing behind me and influencing everything I do and say. So I'm what they call a Poltex, a Polish Texan.
Oh, I
It's a
like that.
category that I created just for myself, and I consider myself proud and only representative of the special Poltex breed here in Texas. So, howdy, y'all. But yes, I have many businesses, and my journey has been interesting to say the least. I share it as an encouragement for those of you that may feel that you are stuck in a job that doesn't fulfill you, or perhaps you open a business and it's been hard and
Hmm.
it's reaching a point where you wonder, are you a slave to your own business? So I came to America from Poland and I did all those things that you're supposed to do. I got my college education, got my corporate career, opened my own business. I was selling agriculture and mining machinery, you mind it, all around the world, by the way. And
Wow.
then one day something happens. My soul knocks on the door and says, it's time to claim your gifts. It's time for you to do what you've been designed to do on this earth. And it had nothing to do with the mining or agriculture machinery. All those years of experience thrown down the ditch. And what I started doing is utilizing my ability as an energy healer to
Mm.
see people's blocks energetically within their emotional and mental bodies. And that simply means how they think, how they act, understanding the emotions behind these wounds, and helping them really tap into the parts of themselves that are untapped. So that's in a nutshell how a girl goes from international global strategy to success coaching.
Well, that's pretty amazing because like the fact that you discover yourself as a healer and as a, like working in the field that you are now from being very technical, right? So that must have been quite a shock for you to be able, if not necessarily negative, a shock doesn't mean negative, but a shock in your life, like a transformation from one to the other. So tell me a little bit more about how did that transformation worked for you and how you came to be where you are today, like as an entrepreneur.
Interestingly enough, it wasn't quite a shock, and I'll say why. I come from a family, both on my maternal and paternal side, of people who are highly intuitive,
Mm,
empaths, holistic healers, energy healers,
okay.
psychics.
Yeah, yeah.
So I knew since I was born that I was clairaudient, clairsentient, and clear everything, as I always say.
Yeah.
But we because it was something so normal to us, we actually did not perceive it as something special. I had a very scientific mind. I loved studying chemistry and physics and math, biology, but also history. And I was really open to study. And when my soul came in, so to speak, to claim those gifts, the only surprise was more like, what, I need to use those gifts? I thought they were just given to me for me,
To
right?
hang
So
out, yeah, to hang out around you. It's like, okay.
yeah, so it was more like, oh, so I actually have to go and work with others about that, and why not? Okay, I'll do that.
Oh,
But
that's very interesting. Yeah.
yeah, but it was, if you think about it, and speaking to those who are listening to us right now, you all have a dream to have a bigger life and
Mhm.
to impact others positively, because I think human nature is naturally positive and compassionate. And sometimes you do that through the career or business that you're in right now. Maybe you're a receptionist, but you always have something nice to say to everyone else, and you make their day just a little bit better. That can be the way that you're expressing your purpose. So it doesn't have to be always something big, this massive mission with the massive download, which I did because my modality called the triple quantum reset was downloaded literally in an instant. And for those of you who wonder what download is, it's like a divine inspiration. You suddenly know things that you haven't known before. But the only reason, Denise, it was sudden is because I wouldn't listen. I was like, no, I want to sell another tractor. I don't want to be dealing with energy.
That's very interesting. Yeah, it's like you kind of put a buffer in there. No, like with it's just for me. It's not for others, right? In some ways.
Yeah, it's like it didn't occur to me that this is something that you actually have to go and do with
Mm,
other people. But I responded to this call
yeah.
and started learning how to manipulate my own energy because, as you know, we're all gifted by the divine with our own energetic field. And the only difference between an energy healer and a person that's not is that we know how to use that energetic field for transformation and for
Hmm.
change, for
Hmm.
upgrades, for expansion. So I went on a journey of trying to understand my own gift and how the energy flows through me, and how I can repattern other people using my third eye and my abilities to see where essentially, if you think about yourself as a computer, when you
Hmm.
were born, you're like that baby that pops into the world, is untarnished. Knows the babies know that they can conquer the entire world, that they have no fears. And then what happens? Life happens. And we start putting all these viruses and malware inside our operating system that says, I'm not good enough. This will never happen to me. I cannot succeed. People will laugh at me. And before you know it, you as a computer are running really slow because all
Hmm.
these viruses, all these limiting beliefs, all these past wounds with their energetic charges of shame, guilt, sadness, hurt, they are slowing you down. So my
Hmm.
ability is to take those viruses out and reboot you to not only the original system but the upgraded system, because you keep the wisdom from all these experiences. You just discharge all the hangups and emotional trauma and the reason why you think you cannot be all that you are already.
So, is it the technique you use to help people live a life of purpose, passion, and prosperity?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because first, let's start with prosperity. I'm a money mindset expert, and the reason I'm passionate about it is because one is I came from a system that was communistic. And we
Hmm.
were led to believe that poverty is virtue. I mean, how crazy is that? Right.
Hmm.
And that struggle is good. Those posters, we can do it, we can do it, work harder, maybe you'll get somewhere. And I wanted to refuse that program. So I first had to heal these money blocks and unworthiness within myself. And then what I realized is that if we allowed every person in the world to thrive financially, do you think we would have wars? Would we have conflicts?
Probably not.
No, because the reason of all conflicts is the fight for the resources.
Yeah,
It's still
exactly.
that Darwin theory that the biggest, baddest person will survive and conquer the world. We want to be on top of the pyramid. But the truth is, what if the nature is giving us all that we need and is showing us that the abundance that we seek is our divine birthright?
Hmm. Hmm.
So, if you, Denise, succeed as a serenity expert, how many people will be affected through you, through your positivity, through
Hmm.
your wisdom, through your knowledge, right?
It
If
could
I
be
succeed,
unlimited. Yeah.
Yeah, how many can I help? What
Yeah,
about the audience that's listening to us right now? How many of you can impact thousands of other people if you thrive, if you have the abundance and prosperity that you deserve,
get
and
your
you
best potential.
overflow, right?
Yeah,
Because when we overflow, we have something to give.
yeah,
Most people try
absolutely.
to give from an empty vessel.
Yeah,
It's like if this cup of coffee is empty, and it almost is, by the way, then it can give me more juice.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, drinking from an empty cup, I mean, it doesn't give you any energy. And the more we are conscious of our own, our being, of who we are, and of how we act and react in a society will affect the people around us. A lot of time we don't think about that. People don't think about that. And when you start to become conscious of that, of the ripple effect that we have and we can have, and that's why I do what I do, and that's why you do what I do, I'm pretty sure that I want to create tidal wave. I want to create a major impact on the society to help people become more serene and peaceful. And being serene doesn't mean like you sit in a lotus pose and do meditation all day, but and as with you with the mindset is being able to react to the situation that come to us, right? Like, how do you react? How do you see yourself, instead of, as you were saying, dealing with those viruses? How, instead of letting those viruses eat away at us, well, we do a virus cleanse regularly and get rid of them, right? And
Yeah.
that's the same way you work. You help people to really get rid of those saboteurs, and that are not serving us and that are putting us down.
And a lot of people don't realize that minor incidents in our childhood are controlling how we are showing up today. So
Mm-hmm.
let me give you an example. Let's say in kindergarten, you went to a sandbox and saw a group of kids that are playing in there. And you thought, oh, I'm just going to jump in and I'm going to be with them. And they said, no, this is not for you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, a little incident like that. And we know kids don't try to be mean. They just sometimes don't know. They don't have a filter.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now you go through life feeling uncomfortable with in groups.
Feeling rejected,
Yeah,
feeling.
you don't speak up in the boardroom. You don't ask
Yeah,
for a raise,
yeah.
and this little incident that seems insignificant, that maybe lasted 10 minutes altogether, is controlling the next 5 decades of your life.
Absolutely, I agree with you 200%.
Yeah. So
Because
what we have to do is simply release the charge, because what people don't realize is that the emotions are the imprinters of the
mhm,
information of how our subconscious is fed. Hence the triple quantum reset process. It's the modality that was given to me through the understanding, through this divine download, is that we are a holistic system that has three levels. The most people know about the conscious level, how I show up, what do I do, I want to lose weight, I stop eating, right? Like
yeah.
that worked for anyone. And then they realize, okay, well, maybe there is a reason that's deeper inside me that I'm eating more. Maybe I just don't think I can lose weight, or maybe I think I'm ugly, and all these limiting beliefs. So that's the subconscious mind
Mhm.
that's running the show.
Yeah.
But what I understood from, my opening myself up to the universal consciousness is that there is the layer below the subconscious mind. And it's the energetic layer that is encoded through emotions that sometimes don't seem to be connected today to what we're doing. If you're a public speaker and you have fear of speaking, perhaps, in school, in elementary school, you came forward in a classroom to read your poem, and again, kids were laughing at you.
Yeah, throwing paper balls and laughing at you.
Exactly. And now you've got shame, you've got guilt, you have fear, you've got
I'm never gonna
sadness.
talk in public again.
Yes, and all these emotions are like the broadcasters that keep saying, don't do it again, don't do it.
Yeah,
They're trying
yeah,
to save us.
yeah.
But what they're doing is, instead of saving us, they're actually keeping us small.
Mm-hmm.
We can't progress until this emotional charge is released from our psyche, from our physical body, because the body actually holds the imprints. People don't realize that. If you
So,
if, if we ask you about the emotion, you'll probably point to the part of your body where you feel it.
mm-hmm. So how do people release that stuck energy that keeps them not moving forward?
So what I do when I'm with working with my clients one on one or in a group setting, because it is all frequency. So there comes, think of it this way: my ability is to open a stuck water faucet. So
Uh-huh.
you've got a
Uh-huh.
faucet in the kitchen. It has all that junk that accumulated in the pipes, but you just never open it because you were afraid that you will have to relive the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And what I allow you to do is to have a confidence that if you open that faucet, all these stuck emotions will pass through you without ever having you to re-experience what happened, but you finally let them go.
Mm.
It's a frequency, works like oil in the water. When you come at a certain frequency and you hold that vision for your client very high, the
Yeah.
client starts rising up. And as we always say, all healing is always self-healing.
Yeah.
My job is to show you where you can be and to let you rise up to who you already are, because for our purpose, for our mission, for everything that we do in our lives, we already have inside us everything we will ever need to fulfill that purpose. We do not
Mm-hmm.
have to seek it outside. Your soul has equipped you with absolutely all capacities, all skills, and all talents you'll ever need to fulfill your potential and then to fulfill your divine mission.
Yeah, I agree with that. A lot of people think that people that are succeeding, they are so much more special than them. They had a different environment. Like they don't think that the other people had, like, how often people say, "Oh, but that's not my fault because I had a difficult upbringing and this and that." It doesn't mean that you cannot succeed, because it's all in what's, as you're talking, like all the blockage that you we put on ourselves and our mindset, that are energetically, as you mentioned, like stuck with us. And I agree with you that once you're able to let go of those blockage, let go of that faucet, that stuck gunk that's in the faucet that stop it from running. I mean, what? Because you can succeed. Everybody, I have strong belief, just like you, that everybody can succeed. Everybody can be the top of their field if they let themselves be.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go and geek out on you, and I'm going to bring the quantum physics into it.
There you go.
And quantum physics simply is the way the universe operates. And what it showed is that our thoughts control our reality,
Mm-hmm.
that the particles of light can behave as a non-physical matter, but when observed, when looked at, they collapse into the physical matter, into reality. And what that shows us is that when you conceive a goal, when you think of something like, I would like to be that rich, you look at somebody's multi-million dollar mansion and you say, I would love to live in a mansion like that.
Mm.
And then you probably will go back immediately to your limiting belief saying,
Oh,
well,
but
I don't
I
have what it
can.
takes. But
Yeah,
the
yeah.
truth is, per quantum physics, because for that nanosecond you imagined yourself in that house, that probability already exists in the quantum field. And
Mm-hmm.
it's up to you to grab it.
Yeah.
And you grab it by believing. You grab it by saying, you know what, I don't care what happened to me in my life. It's what I want moving forward that
Mm-hmm.
matters. I mean,
Exactly.
look at me. I came from an ex communist country and I'm living in America, the land of free. And I am an entrepreneur. I'm as far away from the entire communist system as I can be. If I've overcome where I came from, what can you overcome in your
Yeah.
life and
Yeah.
truly give yourself permission to go bigger, bolder, and better?
Yes. And every morning people can wake up and decide to make that shift. It doesn't have to take forever. The transition itself, let's say you have a 9 to 5 job and you want to be an entrepreneur, don't quit your job and say, okay, I'm starting my business, but you can start to work towards building your business until you have enough momentum in your business to quit your 9 to 5 job. And but you can, everybody can achieve if you have goals. Visualize those goals, right? Like, it's, as you mentioned, it's out there. The possibility of you reaching that goal is out there,
Yeah.
and it's up to us to believe it and moving forward in that direction and not to let go. Too often people reach a roadblock and they say, oh, that's hard right now, that must not be my path, and then they turn around and they go back. But roadblocks are there to test us, to move us past that roadblock that allows us to really see the light at the end of the tunnel, or the success, or the goals that we want to achieve. So I think it makes a huge difference in perseverance and moving and allowing ourselves to be as successful as we deserve to be.
Well, I completely agree. In fact, to me, I know I am in my purpose where I'm trying to walk away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I know it sounds controversial and crazy, but when you're truly on a path that's aligned with your soul is so big. It is so limitless. It's so magnanimous that for us humans, it feels overwhelming. It feels
Mm-hmm.
like I'm not good enough for that. I don't have what it takes, right?
Yeah.
So when we are truly expanding according to that essence of who we are at the soul level, we're tapping into things that we've never done before. It feels strange. It feels scary. It
Yeah.
feels too
Yeah.
big. You want to cry. You want to run. You want to hide, right? That's how I know that I'm reaching that next stage of the
Yeah.
evolution. So, to give you an idea, I started with Unlock Your Success, and I thought, well, that's great. I'm going to work with entrepreneurs and in these programs, both one on one and group. Life is peachy. Next thing I know, in the middle of a pandemic, the spirit comes in and says, you shall start a woman group, a women's group that brings this business and spirituality together so we can expand into all of our potential. And that organization is called the Athena Circle. So, right literally in the middle of pandemic and economic slowdown, we started a women community. And I thought, well, you know what? I tried to negotiate with the spirit and say, this is pandemic. This is not the time. I don't want to do it. Go to somebody else. Find somebody else. Right. Well, the
Why me?
negotiations failed. I couldn't get myself out of it. I was called to service and I had to hit the call. And then I thought I was done. Not yet. So just 2 months ago, another call comes in, and this one says it's time to bring these light workers like you, Denise, the thought leaders, the energy healers, the luminaries together and allow us together to co-create paradigm shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So we started the Global Consciousness Summit, which is actually coming up on June 18th, which is this Saturday online via Zoom. And we did we reached out to amazing people even like you and so many in our community and asked to gather together.
Yeah.
So again, I tried to stop that summit from happening for months. I was like, I'm not doing it, it's too big, I don't want to. Right. And I'm sharing this story for all of you who sometimes wonder, am I on a right path? I mean, it seems like it's too big for me.
Yeah.
These are the signals that you probably are exactly at the right time and space to fulfill not only your potential, but what your soul designed for you to
Yeah.
realize.
Yeah. Not be afraid to live up, to step up to the plate and let go of that imposter syndrome. Right? People think like, oh, but I'm not good enough to do that. Like, I feel like an imposter and all that. But live your greatness. Like, just do it. Give it a try. If you fall flat on your face, get back up and keep going, because like, you just get better and better as you move forward, and as you continue, you'll learn from your mistake, and you will be able to continue on and to explore and maybe make little shift, little changes. Sometimes we just need to tune better, where we want to go, and then just keep going. And that's why we recommend to people to associate themselves with people like you, like me, to help them calibrate, right? The calibration, to help them being able to realign themselves a little bit if they feel like they're, oh, I'm not sure if that's the right thing. Well, ask a mentor, ask a coach, ask someone to support you and to help you move in the direction that you need to go, right?
Plus, you said something that I really love. And you said, sometimes when you fall down, you have to pull yourself back up. Well, I wrote an article on that where I talked about what's my definition of an expert. And to me, it's somebody who failed so many times that now can come to you and say, don't go left, been there, done that, got a t shirt, did not work out.
Yeah.
Don't go here. No, that's not producing results. Don't do this. I failed at
Yeah.
that. Don't
Yeah.
go there, right? Because you've done so many things
Yep.
that by now you actually know what not to do, which means you can tell people what to do to
Yeah.
avoid your own mistakes.
Yeah.
And the article was showing the image of a baby. Think about the baby. Does the baby have an imposter syndrome?
Syndrome, no. The
When they
baby's a baby.
fall,
The baby was, yeah.
yeah,
It
when
gets
they
back
fall, they're
up.
like, no, oh, I'm not good enough. I'll never be able to walk. I'm sitting on my bum all day long. I'll probably will be stuck here for the next 6 decades. No, they just get up, they crawl, they do anything to, even if they're wobbly, they're like, I'm standing 5 seconds now. I'm standing, right? So I think that's the point and a message for all of us is, if it didn't bother you when you were a toddler, to constantly fall down on your bum, get up and try again,
Yeah.
then why would you stop yourself in your tracks now just because you had a hiccup?
Here we go. That's a good thing. That's a good way to end, because we're wrapping up to an end. So I'm just wondering, how can people reach you if they want to know more about you, and if they wanted to be part of that summit, and if you have a gift, like many many little question here. So
Absolutely. So the easiest way to get access to any aspects of my work is to visit my website, dagmarfleming.com.
and that's your
And
name, so that's pretty easy.
yes, pretty easy. And on that website, you will also have access to the Athena Circle right there on the top menu. So this is if you're seeking community of women like you who want to expand and grow professionally, personally, and spiritually, then we are definitely your gals, and we have fun while we are doing that. And under events
Wonderful.
section, still on dagmarfleming.com, under events, you can tap right into the Global Consciousness Summit and
Oh,
learn
wonderful.
more. This is going to be such a mind blowing event. It is fully immersive and interactive. And what that means is every participant is part of the conversation. We bring you to the spotlight, we ask for your opinions so we can co create new paradigms of thinking for what is possible for you, how you can expand professionally, how you can self heal, how you can enhance your intuition for better decisions and opportunities in your life. And if that's not enough, we have over $4,000 worth of gifts from our
Wow.
speakers and sponsors where you can work with them one on one in workshops, in strategy sessions, in trainings, all that for a VIP pass ticket of just $57. So join us for general admission at $11 or $57. Will drop over $4,000 of gifts in your lap. How crazy is
I,
that?
that's pretty cool. I see that you have the VIP special right now, right, at 57,
Yes.
if they sign up this week.
We wanted this event to be so transformative that you'll be changed by just coming onto it and enjoying the frequency of these speakers and meditations and activations and even networking rooms. So we have some ample activities for connecting. And then we wanted to leave you with the entire toolkit that you can tap into after the event and continue to expand. So we hope to see you at, it would be honor and a pleasure to serve you at
So
that
what
event.
time does it start on the 18th? What time does it end?
It's from 10 a.m. Central to 4 p.m. Central, or
Okay.
8 a.m. Pacific to 2 p.m. Pacific.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I hope I'll put the link in the chat once we finish this video, and I hope many of you will join and go to the summit. I think we can all benefit from a little bit more wisdom and understanding, and sign up for the VIP, because you can get some great gift at the end.
It will be our pleasure.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Dagmar. It was such a pleasure to have you with me. I'm just going to put you away for a second. Stay there, and I'll be right back. So it was such a pleasure to have Dagmar with me today. As you see, as you heard and saw, she's a gem of greatness, and wanting the society, the world to really grow and fulfill their full potential and grow as a human being. So if you want to know more about Dagmar, it's dagmarfleming.com. So I'll put that in the chat in a second. So thank you so much, everyone, for listening. It was such a pleasure to be here with you. Every week at noon Pacific, I'm here with you to bring you some greatness, some amazing speakers, to be able to learn, grow, experience different things from the people that I bring here. So I wish you a wonderful week. And until next time, be kind to one another. Take care. Bye bye.